I heard about this a few days ago about this. I actually shared something on Twitter about it, about how Elon Musk was coming after one of his employees on Twitter who was upset about being laid off without any sort of communication. And then there were two different tweets where Elon Musk is initially giving him crap, and then clearly the lawyers advised him, and he had to like issue a different tweet that would kind of absolve him, but will not really. It's not going to really absolve him, I'll be real.
Now, this saga
No.
started.
Oh, I also need to give you a heads up that Hasanabi is incredibly fucking irritating in this video because he keeps trying to do other people's accents and he doesn't do them well.
Originally, here is I am Haralder, also known as Hallie. He tweets, this was last night, said 9 days ago the access to my work computer was cut along with about 200 other Twitter employees. However, your head of HR is not able to confirm if I am an employee or not. You have not answered my emails. Maybe if enough people retweet, you'll answer me here. Elon Musk says, what work have you been doing?
This is so bizarre, by the way, too, because, well, I don't know if maybe things get lost in the shuffle now that we're in a pandemic and most people are working remotely. But it sounds like he called everybody back into the office. So, I mean, every layoff I've ever gone through, they basically tap the person on the shoulder, bring them into a room, give them their paperwork of, they're getting them out the door kind of paperwork, and have them go back to their desk, collect their things, put it in a box with like maybe like security or something, like escorting them, and then they're escorted out of the building. And they usually do it on Thursdays because if they do it on Thursdays, there's a little bit more recovery time for them mentally to try and figure out what their next steps are. And also, you cannot apply for unemployment insurance until you've been unemployed for, I think, like a week. It's like a week before you can actually apply, and you have to go through the process of explaining why you were let go and whether or not the company wants to challenge the reason, because they could potentially be like, hey, we disciplined this person on several occasions, they did not correct their behavior, and so on and so forth. So, like in the case where the cases where I've been laid off, which has been a couple of times. One of them, though, was actually a firing, but they still did not challenge my claim to unemployment insurance because I hadn't actually done anything wrong, and they knew that the state was not going to hold up their reasons for firing me on that occasion. And in fact, I won a settlement for misclassified worker as a result of that, and wrongful termination. We reached a settlement agreement. But on the second one, they were trying to go the same direction of, employers do this shit all the time, where when they need to start laying off their workforce, they try and invent reasons to discipline their employees so that they can try and get around unemployment insurance. But I can tell you straight up, in both cases for me, they did not challenge my claim to unemployment because they knew they didn't have a fucking case.
Ali responds, I would need to break confidentiality to answer this question here. If you have your lawyers share in writing that I can do that, then I'd be happy to discuss that openly. Elon Musk says, it's approved. You go ahead. Hallie says, among others, I led the effort to save about $500,000 on one SAS contract, supported closing down many others, led prioritization.
Okay. Oh my god, even, dude. You're so bad. Let me see if I can read this to you guys. It's dark when I pause it. I led the effort to save about 500,000 on one SaaS contract. Okay, so I don't know if Hassan actually knows what that is, but it's software as a service, is what that acronym stands for. Supported, I can't see it under the thing, but it's very difficult to understand what he's reading because he's doing this fucked up accent. Like, for real, dude. Can't you act like a goddamn adult once in a while and stop doing these stupid accents?
On design projects across the company to make sure we were able to deliver with the small team. I've led design crits to help level up design across the company. Was hiring managers for all design roles. He's Icelandic. This guy, by the way, was Iceland's Person of the Year 2022. That's funny. And he said, led design crits, worked on efforts to steer the company away from focusing on power users and to younger users because our user base is aging. Elon Musk responded, level up from what design to what? Pixar, it didn't happen. Bro, you are such a weirdo. 2, we haven't hired design roles in 4 months. 3, what changes did you make to help with the youths? Then he tweeted this link. He said, would you say that you're a people person? And tweeted the Office Space link. What would you say you do here? And then Elon Musk said, the reality is that this guy, who is independently wealthy, did no actual work, claimed as his excuse that he had a disability that prevented him from typing, yet was simultaneously tweeting up a storm. Can't say I have a lot of respect for that. It's obvious he did.
First of all, there's voice recognition. Like, for a dude who actually owns a company that goes into space, you're not familiar with voice recognition, asshole? You can literally turn on your microphone, and if you use it frequently enough, it understands what you're saying far more than if you only use it occasionally. And then you can just go in and do some minor edits if it's screwed up some words. That's so amazing to me. I don't know what chat I just got invited to.
All middle management work from that exchange, but I personally would not put an ex-employee on blast and force them to prove their worth in front of 100 million plus people. Elon said he has a prominent active Twitter account and is wealthy. So are you. What does that mean? He responded to that. He said, hi.
Yeah, seriously, like, some of us actually had good paying jobs at the beginning of this pandemic and got laid off from seriously good paying jobs. Does that mean we are any less deserving to holding those positions when you motherfuckers at the top are like, well, we need some fall guys because it can't be me. It can't be me who gets eliminated. It's got to be you lower people, the ones who are doing all the work. It can't be the direction that we've been giving you about what we should do with the company. It can't be our mistake that we have to eliminate all these jobs. It's obviously you, right, Elon?
Again, Elon Musk, hope you are well. I'm fine too. I'm thankful for your interest in my health, but since you mentioned it, I wanted to give you more info. I have muscular dystrophy. It has many effects on my body. Let me tell you what they are. My legs were the first to go. When I was 25 years old, I started using a wheelchair. No, I'm not doing this voice because I'm fucking making fun of his disability, you fucking idiots. I'm doing this voice because he's from Iceland.
Well, you should stop
you
doing
fucking
it.
idiots. I'm doing the Canute voice. Also, he's wealthy because Twitter bought his company. Anyway, we're going to get to that in a second. Okay, in the interest of fairness, in early 2021, Haraldur sold Ueno to Twitter in an agreement between him and Twitter. Most of the purchase price was paid as a salary to maximize the tax he would pay for the sale in Iceland. He chose to pay for tax out of respect to Iceland for the disability benefits he received. Per the agreement, he paid the second highest tax of an individual in Iceland in 2021. The most based motherfucker, dude. What a goat. What a fucking goat. In March 2021, Haraldur helped launch a project called Ramp Up Reykjavik, a collaborative venture undertaken by local businesses, labor unions, government ministries, associations, banks, and city officials with the intention of helping local businesses install wheelchair ramps to improve accessibility for people with disabilities. Like, he went, I mean, you couldn't be a better person. You know what I mean? It's been 20 years since that happened. In that time, the rest of my body has been failing me too. I need to help get in and out of bed and use the toilet. For a long time, I thought my arms would remain strong. A doctor told me they would, but they ended.
I feel the same way about, the fact that, I was injured last year and I was immediately like pushed off to the side, excluded from management discussions. I was not even being told about what was happening with my team while I was still managing them. When they had incidents in the field, I was not being brought in to help them with these situations. I was not being brought into disciplinary situations. I was being excluded from so much. And that's how leadership rolls. Oh, okay, well, you can't walk 8 hours a day anymore. You can't be a canvasser at the same time as being a team leader. Well, then, therefore, you're not useful to us anymore. If we can't, get 66 hours a week out of you and, abuse your time, make it impossible for you to do anything on a personal level because you only get one day off a week, right? Yeah, employers fuck with you all the time. And then when they took me out of the field entirely, they put me on an 8 to 5 schedule, in which I would have to fight the worst possible rush hour traffic traveling between LA and Orange County. Like, there was no thought process into leveraging the intelligence in my head, all of the experience I had from the field, all the experience I had from managing my team. There was not a thought in the world that I brought intelligence to the room. Not only from the job, but from my 22 years of corporate experience and my 6 years of political volunteerism and participation in the party. I had a lot to bring to the table, so I know what he's talking about. Just because your body starts failing you doesn't mean that you are no longer valuable to a company. Like, you have shit in your head that you can bring to the table. But these motherfuckers, I can't even.
Ended up losing strength, which I don't mind telling you was hard to accept. But you okay the cards you are dealt, and I've managed to create a wonderful life. My family's the best. I have 2 kids. I see them every day. I recommend that. My wife is fantastic, strong, kind, smart, amazing artist. About 9 years ago, I started a company called uano.co. I worked a lot, didn't do my body any favors, but it's what I felt needed to do. The hard work paid off, and the company became very successful. We worked for more and less every big tech company. But after 7 years, I was tired. COVID was running for longer than 2 weeks. You said it would. Fuck yeah. And my body was also continuing to get weaker. After looking at many options, I decided to sell my company to Twitter. Financially, it wasn't the best decision. My company was making a lot of money, and Twitter's offer was lower than any smart valuation would say. But like you, I made a bet on Twitter having a lot more potential than it has had. I joined a company in a time when the company was growing fast. There was a lot going on. The company had he had an Emerald Mine joke in there. We grew fast and made money. I think that's what you are referring to when you say independently wealthy, that I independently made my money, as opposed to say I inherited an emerald mine. Oh my God, he's fucking roasting him so hard. Bro, what the fuck? This guy is awesome. Holy shit. This guy is just fucking literally rolling his wheelchair over Elon Musk's carcass at this point. Jeez, Lord mercy. Holy fuck. Anyway, let's continue.
I am Power, Trouble Groom for JCPenney.
Where is it? Can I check that?
I have terrible news. Your grandfather is dead. I don't even know him.
Okay.
But after 7 years, I was tired. COVID was running for longer than the 2 weeks you said it would. Okay. It's hard to keep doing the accent.
Yeah, please don't.
And my body was also continuing to get weaker. After looking at the many options, I decided to sell my company to Twitter. Financially, wasn't apologize for the accent. I will never apologize for doing the correct accent for Iceland, Norway, Denmark.
That is not the correct accent, and it's annoying as fuck, dude.
Pretty much any country that is I consider to be in that immediate vicinity. I'm not ableist. I'm just being xenophobic. It's not. It's out of love. It's also very good. I wasn't in the first batch or the second or third or fourth. I'm not sure which layoff round I was in there. There were so many of them. Each one came after you promised the last one was the final one. During my time at New Twitter, or as 2.0 as you called it, I talked to my manager every week and asked what I should focus on.
By the way, they all do that fucking shit. Like, even I've been at so many companies now, like that once we start taking an economic downturn, they say, nope, we are in a great financial position. There will not be any layoffs. And within 6 months, every fucking time they tell us that, within 6 months, there are layoffs.
on. And then I proceeded to do those things, every one of them. I also contacted HR regularly and asked if my job description was correct or needed updating. I wanted to make sure I was doing what I was supposed to. They always said they were looking into it, but I never got a reply. And now, finally, to my fingers, which I know you have great concern for, thank you for that, by the way, I'll tell you what I told them. I'm not able to do manual work, which in this case means typing or using a mouse, for extended periods of time without my hands starting to cramp. I can, however, write for an hour or two at a time. This wasn't a problem in Twitter 1.0 since I was a senior director and my job was mostly to help teams move forward, give them strategic and tactical guidance. But as I told HR, I'm assuming that's the confidential health information you are sharing, I can't work as a hands-on designer for the reasons outlined above. So he took confidential information about this person's health, his physical disability, and made it public to blast him on the platform that he bought for $44 billion. Oh my God, this dude is about to be the second highest tax paying in Iceland once again after he pays taxes on the awards that he gets from the fucking lawsuit. Woo!
I don't think you actually, well, I don't know how they do it in Iceland, but I think when it's an actual award, a settlement, an award in that regards, I don't think that's taxable. Because that's considered something that you were owed. It's not something that you earned through employment. So I don't know that he would actually have to pay taxes, but I'm sure based on what he's writing here that he would probably do something to through a set. I mean, and it sounds like he's really got a lot of evidence here to sue Elon Musk at this point. It sounds like he would probably do something pretty charitable for disabled people in his country, right?
That's a motherfucking payday, baby. Oh my Lord, dude. Oh, that's so fucked up. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm typing this on my phone, by the way. It's easier because I only need to use one finger. I hope that helps. Let me know if you're going to pay what you owe me. I think you can afford it. And then Elon Musk finally responded. First, he said the reality is that this guy, who is independently wealthy, did no actual work, claimed as his excuse that he had a disability that prevented him from typing, yet was simultaneously tweeting up a storm. Can't say I have a lot of respect for that. Elon Musk turned around today and said, I would like to apologize to Hallie for my misunderstanding of a situation. It was based on things I was told that were untrue or, in some cases, true but not meaningful. He is considering remaining at Twitter. Why is Elon Musk...
Well, at this point, I think he should not remain at Twitter. I think he should sue the fuck out of Elon Musk. But yeah, those are the tweets that I saw the other day too, and I reshared them on Twitter as well.
Musk forced, I wonder, to keep this person under employment. That's crazy. Dude, what? He publicly fired this guy, I thought, and made fun of him. Elon also called him the worst and then deleted. I don't think it's a good idea to shit on former employees in public, says Nakamoto. He's the worst, sorry. Oh, and then he deleted it. Damn, Megaphonics is like, noties on for Elon, finally comes in clutch for once. As someone who has worked directly with I Am Haralder during a turnaround, this is super disappointing to see. Not only is his work ethic next level, his talent and humility are world class. Exactly the kind of person you want on your team when the odds are stacked. I feel there's a certain deep misunderstanding somewhere here in the did no actual work. Based on your comment, I just did a video call with Hallie to figure out what's real and what I was told. It's a long story. Better talk to people than communicate via a tweet. Dude, Elon dick riders, like, they have been lobotomized. I was gonna say he needs to be Elon dick riders need to be lobotomized, but like they must have already been lobotomized to just go, this is awesome all around. Couldn't agree more with that. Have always rooted for Twitter's success. Hope you two get to keep working together again. Oh, I forgot to mention that I read that you can't go to the toilet on your own either, Elon Musk. I'm sorry to hear about that. I know the feeling. The only difference is I can't do it because of a physical disability, and you're afraid someone you hurt will attack you while you poop. Oh, I love that, dude. Oh my God, this guy fucking rolled, Elon. Fuck, this guy's great. I'm fucking following him. This is the most awesome thing I've seen from him, though. Every year, tax records in Iceland are made public. I was hoping I'd be the person that paid the highest amount of taxes last year, but I was number 2, and I proudly accept that honor to pay back the society that gave a working-class disabled kid free education and health care. That is, I love that, man. That is such a respectable thing to fucking put out there. Without those...
Oh, God, I hate the outcome.
Get ready to find true love and high adventure in
Those free institutions, I would not have been able to do any of the things I did later in my life. Society only works if we collectively participate and lift each other up. For some, that's being able to pay higher taxes. For others, it's everyday acts of kindness. For a while, I was on the receiving end of financial disability support from the government. If a few things had gone differently, I would still be getting that support. Being able to pay back into a system is a gift. I love that. Apparently, Musk is going to owe Hallie the rest of his $100 million because when he sold his company to Twitter, he was taking payment in wages. Yeah. By the way, he got that, which ironically is better off that he got it like that, I guess. Or probably not. Stock price is probably still higher than when he originally got the payment. But like he said, he asked to get paid in wages, the actual value rather than like stocks, which, you know, is usually like a non-taxable form of payment like equity. And he got that specifically so he could pay taxes in Iceland. Paying tax in the US doesn't give you this satisfaction at all since most of the money is spent on tremendous military expenses. Considering that I pay more taxes than a lot of people in this chat, I will say that I enjoy paying taxes regardless, because while some of it does go to like, I don't know, evaporating and eviscerating like children in Yemen, which is not great, there's plenty that still goes into social services, keeping the roads running, keeping other kinds of services running. Why are you flexing on us like that? I mean, I talk about it all the time. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because still plenty goes into services.
That's because you have too many libertarians in your chat. Taxation is theft, right? You have too many libertarian followers, Hassan. You gotta like take a step back and consider why. What are you doing to moderate your chat? What are you doing to attract the right crowd? Why are you doing these childish impressions of accents? Like, does that really work for you? Because it seems like the feedback you're getting in the chat is that nobody likes your fucking accents.
That we take advantage of every day. Admit that you like paying taxes because you like that the government oppresses women. That too. It's fascinating that some people think that Musk is somehow gaining credibility in this fight with Hallie, who gets characterized as a bitter employee, when the reality is that Hallie needed a clear statement that Twitter had breached their acquisition contract. Hallie isn't a regular at-will employee. He's an acquired founder, and the contract almost certainly guaranteed Hallie's continued employment. Elon is interested in scoring dunks, and sure, the faithful are going to come up with shitty ableist arguments about why Hallie should have been fired, including that he wasn't doing work, which almost certainly is bogus. But I would be shocked if an acquired founder's employment contract allowed him to be fired on the frivolous grounds that the rest of us have to deal with, and suspect the penalties for breach of that contract are going to be pretty high. That, he's probably on the do not fire list, and also on top of that, firing him on the basis of his disability is like an insanely large no-no, dude. Like, even in America, you got at-will employees, but like, come on. You have legal recourse, even if you're like an average everyday Joe. If someone frivolously fires you...
This is absolutely true, and you know, this was actually something that was proposed at my last job too, after I got bit by the dog, that I had like 3 options, and they were get unemployment insurance, get a severance package, or get workers' comp. And the reality is I was injured on the job. You cannot fire somebody who has been injured on the job. I wasn't doing anything to hurt the disruptions of the operations. I wasn't doing anything that required discipline. So you can't come up with bullshit like that. And that's exactly what was happening to me at my last job. But in his case, he came in with a pre-existing disability that they were aware of. So it's not like they can be like, well, we don't want to deal with your disability anymore. No, folks, you already agreed to have him as part of your company. You cannot fire him on the basis of his disability.
When you have a disability, you could get restitution, financial restitution for that. You should immediately contact a fucking labor lawyer. Absolutely. Obviously, not many bosses are as stupid as Elon Musk, who will literally fucking openly state that you are handicapped and therefore can't do your fucking job while you publicly fire them, which makes it super easy. But if you have a disability and your boss fucking fires you, you definitely, even if you aren't in this circumstance, you definitely still have legal recourse. Never forget that. Oh, by the way, that's such a good call because I was going to mention that as well. Elon Musk posting an Office Space meme to mock an employee struggling with a corporate takeover is like so insanely ironic. Like, dog, you know the guy you posted is you, right? Like the bad guy. Like, what happened? Like, did you not understand? Did you watch but not understand? Like, you are the guy in the video that you posted, which you are literally saying you are, but you're the bad guy. That is weird. Anyway, no, you don't understand. Firing people because of their disabilities is a common joke in South Africa. I love that. I wonder if Elon could take that to the courts because, yes, while he successfully was able to get away with calling a fucking diver in Thailand a pedophile in U.S. courts when he was sued for defamation by claiming that pedophile is a South African joke, I don't think you could say that. Also, I think he tried that as well with the fucking commerce court in Delaware, where he was like, no, you don't understand. Claiming that I'm going to buy Twitter for $44 billion is a very common South African joke. And they were like, no, dog, you're going to have to buy Twitter. It's pretty obvious. Yeah. What the fuck? A small API change had massive ramifications. The code stack is extremely brittle for no good reason. We'll ultimately need a complete rewrite. I hope Twitter gets as strong as you, sir. This was funny too, yeah. Not only does Elon Musk not have a clue what he's talking about with respect to the small API change, but this is exactly what he tried to do at PayPal, claiming that it needed a full version 2 rewrite of the code when it didn't. Instead, it shifted resources away from key areas and eventually got him ousted as CEO. Tesla Economics tweeted, Elon, when is the date with AOC? Elon responded, alas, she would never date me. I'm not cool enough. Should Tesla Economics set up a date between Elon and AOC? Elon, like, AOC's like married. The fuck is this shit? Like, that's so fucking gross, man. Also, what is this AOC meme? Like, they're like, oh yeah, AOC, it would be hot if she was blonde and blue-eyed. Like, straight up just racist, dude. What the fuck? They literally were like, hey, what about white AOC? Because they gotta fetishize POC women. I mean, they literally are like, it's not enough, They're just like, AOC's hot, which is weird to just like constantly fucking talk about objectifying a congressional representative. But then he's like, oh, but like she needs to also be white too. Like, it's hitting the bingo. It's like both racist and misogynistic. Very, very odd bullshit.
Yep.
King Group is Orange County's #1 small real estate.